So there's been a few obviously nowadays everybody's got a mock draft. I'll say this every year. We judge after the draft based on mock drafts, which is stupid, makes no sense. We are influenced about whether it's a good pick or a bad pick by that, which makes no sense. But it's fun fodder. But I think people need to understand that most of these guys are guessing.
Yes.
Some have, a Dane Brugler or a Todd McShay or Mel Kiper. They have obviously some ability to talk with people, but nobody's going to put out there who they want to draft.
And more importantly,
yeah.
And Todd McShay, for example, at the combine, he sat down with 7 different general managers on camera.
Right.
He asked them at every one, who you drafted? And they laughed. We're not telling you we're drafting.
Right, of course.
So you're getting information from teams on players they may like, players they may prefer if it's him versus him in a certain position.
But you don't know.
No one's telling Todd McShay or Dane Brugler or Mel Kiper, we're taking this player at pick 23, especially that late in the draft.
Of course. You wouldn't even know.
Around. Yeah.
No, but here's the thing I would say. When it comes to these guys making these mock drafts, okay, they're not going to get these things right where the players are slotted to go. But their research and knowledge of these players is so good. It's interesting to see who they have going to the Browns. Like if it's a receiver at 6, okay, what receiver is that?
Right.
And why?
It's an educated guess based on knowledge and needs.
And those dudes watch a ton of tape and know a lot about these players, and also talk to teams. That's where I think it's important to know. Like, is this guy a good guy? What's his character like? Is he going to fit with that team? Like, that is where I find it very interesting to see. Like, where do they have like Carnell Tate going?
Right.
Is he going top 10? Okay, then if he is, then if you respect Daniel Jeremiah or whoever it may be, I'm like, okay, well, he's got him going top 10. Maybe it's not to the Browns, but if you think the Browns are going receiver, at least I have an idea of like what the talent is going to be at 6. Like, what's the player that the Browns could go after? I mean, we think receiver makes a lot of sense at 6, right?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the receivers?
Right.
I mean,
who are the options?
Who are the options there? So I think that's what helps me.
I agree. I do worry about sometimes with groupthink in these situations, or like everybody starts to say, well, this guy, Sonny Styles moved up the draft board. Did he? Or did he just excite a bunch of mock drafters with a workout? I don't know.
I think it reaffirmed what we already knew. The guy's freaking stud.
Yeah.
Well, in the aftermath of the combine, there have been this next wave of post-combine mock drafts, right?
Yeah.
And we pulled 4 for you guys.
Yeah.
And even though the names aren't the same, there is a similar trend in each of these 4. We got Brugler, we have PFF, we have Jordan Reed, and we have Lance Zierlein from the NFL Network. Zierlein, excuse me. So let's run through these real quick. First up was Dane Brugler's mock draft. He had the Browns taking Spencer Fano, the Utah right tackle, with the 6th pick, and then Jordan Tyson, who may be falling down draft boards a little bit, coming to the Browns at number 24. So that's one. Keep in mind, offensive tackle 6.
When people say people are dropping, and I don't believe any of that.
I'm just going off.
All right, but I'm saying I don't believe it.
I'm just showing a trend here.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
What's going on? They had Jordan Tyson at 24. Next one, at Jordan Reeds. He had Monroe Freeland, the Georgia left tackle, at 6, taking Omar Cooper Jr., the Indiana receiver, at 24. Omar Cooper Jr. is a guy who, whether Bull believes it or not, is appearing to be rising in draft boards after the combine.
Go ahead.
Next one, and this is the PFF mock draft. Also at Monroe Freeland, the Georgia left tackle, at 6. Jordan Tyson, Arizona State receiver, at number 24. And then last but not least, Jordan Reed, Lance Zierlein, from NFL.com, and Francis Mauigoa, the Miami right tackle, and Omar Cooper Jr., the receiver, at 24. So that's 4 different mock drafts post-combine, all having the Browns go offensive line at 6, receiver at 4. 4 different people, 4 different outlets, different names across the board, even though it was the same 2 receivers. Split.
And 3 different
3 different linemen,
tackles,
2 different receivers.
Don't ask me about the tackles.
Just do you feel like at this point, based on the information we have, that trend of offensive line first, receiver second, is the method that the Browns are going to try and utilize in the draft?
Your question is completely flawed.
Why is it flawed, Bill?
You want to re-ask it?
Because we have no information. Mock drafts is not information. It's educated. It's guessing based on needs. It's not really information. It's not facts.
Well, when you say that, it takes out all the work that these guys. You don't think Dane Brugler is talking to the Browns and to
I
other
don't.
teams?
Of course he is.
So that is information then.
But no, the
It's
Browns are
information to
not.
us.
The Browns are not giving Dane Brugler or anybody else a clue as to what they're doing. No chance.
They're not saying we're taking Monroe Freeling, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if a general manager or someone in the scout department is telling Dane, hey, we really like this offensive tackle.
Why would you tell him that? That's detrimental to the team.
Have you ever worked inside how inside information works? Well, come on.
But
you've been in this business 25 years. You know how this stuff works.
But not for the draft, Mike. That's not something.
Well, I think
people
okay.
are.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's uncommon for Dane Brugler or whoever
Yeah.
has a relationship with someone in the Browns. Maybe it's Barry. I don't know. Probably
Yeah.
not Barry, but whatever.
Or any team, not just the
And they
Browns.
just say, like, okay, what do you think about
Right,
Omar
right.
Cooper?
Yeah.
Do you like him?
Yeah.
And if he says that they like him, okay, well, then that makes some sense.
Sure.
Like, if Dane Brugler thinks that it's a fit, and then you ask a team if it's a player that they like, now he may not be there. He may be drafted earlier, what have you.
Or they might like another guy more.
Or the board just doesn't fall the way that it allows them to make that selection. I
Right.
just think that we're discrediting a little bit. Like, teams they 100%.
Yeah.
Mike, you know how this goes in the NBA.
All the draft names I put out there for who the Cavs looking at pick number 50.
Yeah.
You think I'm just pulling names out of a hat? No, I'm talking to guys in the organization. Who worked out? Who'd you guys like?
Yeah.
They're not telling me if he's there, we're taking him, but they're saying
no one's
this
gonna say
guy had a
that.
terrible
Right,
workout.
Nobody's gonna say that.
I
But
would've
they'll
crossed
put
him.
out. They put out a lot of misinformation too.
So once again, based on the information we have,
Right.
well, the information that we have to pull.
I just don't think that because all of these 4 mock drafts have the Browns taking an O-lineman at 6 means that I think they're more likely to draft an offensive lineman there. I don't buy that necessarily. Doesn't mean it won't happen. I just don't buy that that's like, oh, it's trending in that direction. First of all, we're 2 months away from the draft. We haven't had free agency left. Do you think Andrew Berry's already decided who he's picking at 6?
No.
So how could anybody know?
I bet you he has an idea.
I think he's probably got an idea of a handful of
Yeah,
guys.
I bet you he's got a couple of players.
Yeah.
Well, first off, these guys, you're picking at 6, so
Yeah.
you can do the mock draft yourself. You're like, okay, Mendoza, he's gone. You know he's gone at 1.
Yeah, so he
then
probably has 4 or 5 or whatever guys.
Because you know exactly how, you don't know how it's going to fall.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden
Trade.
one team could make a trade for
Right.
someone trades up for a quarterback. Well, then all of a sudden, boom, a player's gone that you thought was going to be there.
Right.
Or whatever.
And-
or they
and-
take your guy.
And free agency could change your game plan to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have 2 guys of equal value, but because of free agency, you lean towards one guy over the other. The point is, you shouldn't say, well, I don't think it makes sense to say, well, it's trending towards the Browns taking an offensive lineman this early in the process. I just don't think anybody's got that information.
Well, once
and
again,
by the way,
based
the
on the
scouts, the
information-
Browns scouts saying whatever that doesn't matter. Andrew Berry is ultimately making the pick.
Sure.
So it only matters in the end what he wants to do.
So once again, I think you just proved my point. Based on the information we have right now,
Okay, fine.
it does seem to
I'll
be
let it
trending
go.
that direction. And there will be new information, material changes
Yeah.
after free agency bowl, where maybe the Browns signed 2 receivers in free agency, and it feels like they're out of play for a Carnell Tatum, a Kyle Lemon, a Jordan Tyson at 6.
Yeah.
Or they sign Rasheed Walker to a $20 million contract to be your left tackle. Probably not taking a left tackle at 6 if they sign Rasheed
Yeah.
Walker, and they just traded for Tytus Howard. So we'll have
Yeah.
new information at that point, Bull,
Yeah, again,
to make a determination.
I'll just let it go. But I don't think what's how you say his name? Mauigoa?
Zach Jackson was on yesterday, gave us a pronunciation guide.
Yeah.
There's an N in there. Mauigoa.
Okay.
You're not
I
the
don't
person
bu-
to ask about
No,
this.
yeah.
Now, you're the wrong
pronunciation
person.
is
You're
not-
right.
it's not
But
my
I don't
thing.
think the Brown. I mean, he doesn't seem to make much sense. He's a right tackle. You just traded for a right tackle.
Yeah.
If you're drafting a tackle at 6, he's got to be a left tackle.
I'm over
You
the
gotta know he's a-
moving positions on
Yeah.
these guys. Like,
Stop it.
he's right tackle, but he can play left.
So-
Okay, how about we just go get the best left tackle?
Monroe Freeling is the best natural left tackle.
Yeah.
Because even Spencer Fano, who was it Brugler who had Fano?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a right tackle too. Now
Yeah,
he played
no.
left tackle 1 year and then moved to right tackle, but had his
Because
two
obviously he was better at right tackle.
had his 2 All-American years at right tackle.
Exactly. So
Freeling has only played left tackle.
So I just don't like we didn't think Mason Graham was being drafted by the Browns last year.
No.
We talked all these things and we thought they might take a quarterback and this and that, and we didn't. None of us thought Mason Graham. We probably had these same conversations. It's trending this way. It's gonna. We have no idea.
Well, we had
what the
offense. We didn't even look at the defensive
Exactly.
players. We had one, and we're actually gonna do this topic tomorrow. But we had one topic last year, which was of the blue chips or any of these guys. And I went back and looked because we may play a little bit tomorrow. or any of these perennial blue chippers who were consensus in that top tier by all the different services, would you take them at 2 based off best player available? And Mason Graham was in that conversation. We spent, no joke, like 14 seconds on Mason Graham.
Yeah.
G. Bush was like, defensive tackle, no. You were like, no.
Yeah.
Who else on the show? It was Tytus. It was you 3. Tytus is like, Michigan, no. Like, that was the whole. And tomorrow we're going to do the blue chippers in this class because there's 3. It's Jeremiah Love, Caleb Downs, and Sonny Styles are the consensus. It doesn't matter who you're looking at. Like, those are the top 3. None of them play premium positions. And none of them necessarily play a position that the Browns are in desperate need of.
Yeah.
But we'll dive into that tomorrow. But none of the offensive linemen, none of the receivers, none of the quarterbacks even fit that premium mold that you'd want with a top 6 pick. Doesn't mean they can't be good players, but
you say that, but there's going to be a wide receiver that ends up being a great player.
100%.
There's going to be probably another quarterback. Maybe there won't be, but there's probably going to end up being another quarterback in this draft that ends up being a good player.
There's going to be up to 7 tackles drafted in the first round. Offensive tackles.
So
one of those 7 is going to turn out to be a damn good player. Probably 2 or 3 of them based off the track record of drafting that position that high in the draft.
And Andrew Berry's track record
is not great at that. Yeah. So whether they're labeled premium guys going in or not, they better get it right.